Hello friends and welcome back to the middle line. In this edition we're going to talk about why there's actually nothing bad in the world. What? Is he crazy? Of course there's bad. What are you talking about?
Mama, he's crazy.
It's actually quite simple, and I'm going to explain it to you as simply and quickly and succinctly as I can and prove to you that there's actually nothing bad in the world. It's all good. We see that nature is built upon two forces. Two opposite forces always operating in nature, up and down, in and out, good and bad, light and dark. There's two forces operating at all times in nature. Two forces. But in nature, there's no bad forces. There's nothing negative. The ebb and flow. We breathe in, we breathe out. There is growth and then there's decay. Day and night. Would you say that any one of those two is bad and the other one good? You'll never understand what light is until you've been in the dark. You'll never know love until you felt hatred. Love and hate are like this. They're married. It was a small ceremony, just a few friends. And in fact, if you've ever been married, you'll know exactly what I mean. Where we see things as negative, bad, we see problems, we see punishments, we see pain and suffering out there in the world. But that is rooted in our perception of what's happening and not in what is actually happening. Nature is trying to evolve us through this process, giving us this opportunity. So there is no bad in nature. The bad is only in humanity because we don't know and understand how to use all of the forces at our disposal in order to come back into harmony and balance. And through the balance of all those forces, to obtain the good that nature wants to give us. And once we appreciate that, once we recognize that the bad actually brings us to the good, then we can bless the bad as much as we do the good. And we'll look at these bad things that we see in front of us and say, there's an opportunity there to make corrections, to change inherently what's in us, and to come from this egoistic, disconnected states to a singular, interconnected state. It means that you have work to do. It means that you have an opportunity. It means that you don't have to sit back and just say, the sky is falling. I don't get it. What's it all about? Or that you go on the offensive and attack your fellow man. We don't have to lash out at each other. We don't have to attack our own people. We don't have to attack our government, our infrastructure, businesses, ourselves. We don't have to do harm to each other in any way. That's not the goal of nature. Nature is not trying to eliminate us. Nature is trying to educate us, to grow and raise us. We need to come into tune with that. That's balancing the two forces, bringing harmony back to nature. That's the middle line. Nature is all love, and it wants you to be all love. Or I should say, us to be all love. And in that sense, nature is all good all the time. We are actually opposite to nature. We've been given the ego. Opposite to nature, which is in balance. We are the thing that is out of balance with nature. Why? Well, again, one force cannot be revealed without the opposite force being revealed first. So it's the negative force that actually pushes us to understand and recognize the positive force. Here's the best part. Nature is doing this to us on purpose. A person should actually be grateful for the bad as much as he or she is grateful for the good, because nature is trying to teach us a lesson. Nature broke the system and scattered it all over the planet, green earth that we call home. And it's our job, all 8 billion plus of us, to put it back together. Connection, unity, to come back into singularity with nature. And nature has done that specifically to us so that we will understand through the negativity of being separated, the positivity of being united. And we will be able to conclude for ourselves the difference of feeling between disconnection, all 8 billion of us feeling as individual egoists, and connection, all 8 something plus billion of us feeling united as one, thinking and caring about each other as if we were all one body. I'll give you an example. I had a friend who, when he was a teenager, wanted a muscle car, a big American muscle car. Now, we had a lot of friends as kids who got cars from their parents. If you're from America, you know what it's like to turn 16 and maybe you got a car, maybe you saw a friend get a car. Hey, happy sweet 16, darling. Here's your brand new Jeep Wrangler with a big shiny red bow on it. We hate them. Now, those kids that you knew that got a free car are doing nothing. Some rich parent that spoiled them. What usually happened from there? What's predictable? Well, within about 2 or 3 days, they would wrap the thing around a telephone pole because they were just given the thing. They had no appreciation for it. They didn't care how it got there. They didn't care how it was paid for. They didn't have any investment in it. They didn't earn it. They didn't work for it. It was just a free gift. And so for that reason, they had no respect.
I mean, that's the story of my life, no respect.
But I had a buddy whose father decided to get him that Dodge Charger. Classic American muscle car. And on his birthday, he opened the garage door. Happy birthday, son. Here's the Dodge Charger you've always wanted. And there, lying on the garage floor in about 10,000 pieces, was all the parts and components of a classic Dodge Charger. All you gotta do, son, is put it together and it's yours. Enjoy! And for the next 8 months, my buddy, every night, every weekend, was in the garage, painstakingly putting that Dodge Charger together, bit by bit, piece by piece. 8 months later, he rolled out of that garage. And he loved that car. He was out there every day wiping it with a diaper. And why did he love that car? He was invested in it. He knew every inch of that car. He was invested in every nook and cranny of that thing. He appreciated the value and effort and hard work that went into building it and what it was made of and how it worked. He developed an appreciation for something that he didn't have before. And he wasn't given it. He had to work for it. He had to earn it. He had to put it together himself. That's what nature is doing for us right now, just like a benevolent parent who is trying to teach us a great, solid lesson. And yes, it feels like punishment. Yes, it feels like blows. Yes, it feels painful often. I get it. I've been there. But imagine the alternative, when you're just given something. We're given everything we want. We wouldn't understand it. We wouldn't even question it. We wouldn't know who we are or what we're doing here. We wouldn't have an opportunity to outgrow ourselves. We would just sit around like babies, taking whatever was given to us all the time, without a care or question in the world. It might be good for a while, but eventually we might want to outgrow that. We might want to become like our parent. We might want to say, enough is enough. I'm tired of receiving all the time. I want to be like you. I want to give. I want to grow. I want to be able to give like you give. I want to be altruistic. Bestowing. And at that point, the parent says, okay, before you can become altruistic like me and really understand how to love, you're going to have to become selfish first. So that's what nature did. It gave us an ego. And it's out of this selfishness that we understand now and we're learning about and that we're suffering through. The fact that we feel like we're all individuals and not part of a whole collective. That's what causes us pain. So imagine the feeling that we will have when we're all connected, all united. When we put all those pieces back together and come back into a form that nature wants us to come into, a much more highly evolved form than we are in now, the next degree for humanity and the next degree for nature, and who knows how fast that Dodge Charger can go, where we're going to take it, what's the next road we're going down. That's not important right now. I certainly don't know. But let's build the thing. Let's put the pieces of humanity back together, come back into that balance and harmony with nature, and then let's head down the road to the next adventure. Let's relate to all the things that we think are bad in a good way, rationally, logically, as if they're given to us purposefully, because they are, from nature, in order to help us learn and evolve and care and be invested in the thing that we are building. Let's put all the pieces back together that nature specifically broke and let us all become a vehicle of love, unity, connection, singularity. Okay, I'm going to let you ruminate on that for a while. Let that sink in.
Here's to feeling good all the time.
And until next time, stay well, stay excellent, stay in a thought that there's no bad in the world. And of course, as always, stay on the middle line.